Welcome to the Shadowverse Chronicles. Please sit back and enjoy our original story of the Emotion Merchants.
Prologue.
The first time Alex Crane heard about EmotiConnect, he laughed.
Share your feelings at the touch of a button? Who'd want that?
He scoffed, tossing aside the glossy brochure. The year was 2035, and Alex was a fresh-faced data analyst, more interested in cold, hard facts than the messy world of human emotions. But EmotiConnect was no joke. Within months, it was everywhere. Billboards loomed over city streets, showing ecstatic users sharing their world. Sleek kiosks appeared on every corner, offering instant emotional connections. People walked around with beatific smiles, their eyes slightly glazed, EmotiConnect chips glowing softly behind their ears. At first, the changes were subtle. Crime rates dropped, productivity soared. The news spoke of a new era of human understanding and empathy. Who could argue with world peace? Alex watched it all with growing unease. In his tiny apartment, surrounded by screens displaying endless streams of data, he began to notice patterns, discrepancies, tiny blips in the sea of collective emotion that didn't quite add up.
You're being paranoid.
Maya told him over coffee. His co-worker's smile was just a little too wide, her eyes a little too bright.
Why don't you try it? Everyone's happier with EmotiConnect.
But Alex couldn't shake the feeling that something was profoundly wrong. The world felt increasingly like a stage play, with everyone reciting lines from a script he couldn't see. Late one night, as Alex pored over emotion fluctuation charts, his personal holoscreen pinged. An anonymous message glowed in the dark. The emotions aren't ours anymore. They're being sold. Find the truth. Alex's heart raced. He glanced out the window at the pulsing EmotiConnect billboard, its cheery slogan suddenly sinister. Feel what we want you to feel. In that moment, Alex Crane knew his life would never be the same. The hunt for the emotions merchants had begun. Little did he know, the rabbit hole went far deeper than he could have ever imagined. Go ask Alice. I think she'll know. The hum of servers fills the air as Alex Crane's fingers dance across holographic keys. Sweat beads on his forehead, heart hammering against his ribs. A red warning flashes across the screens. Unauthorized access detected. Alex's eyes dart between displays, mind racing. He's close, so close to the truth. Just a few more seconds. The sterile office transforms as emergency lights bathe the room in crimson. Beyond the window, the city skyline pulses with billboards advertising EmotiConnect. Alex catches his reflection, disheveled hair, dark circles under eyes that have seen too much. Data streams across the screen, decrypting before his eyes. Emotion manipulation algorithms unfold in intricate patterns. A data visualization materializes, showing artificial spikes in collective happiness.
What the hell? Alex mutters, a chill running down his spine.
The whir of security bots echoes from the corridor. Alex's fingers fly, wiping the workstation clean. He pockets the data chip, heart pounding in his ears. The office becomes a maze, Alex ducking and weaving between cubicles. A bot rounds the corner, scanner beam sweeping. He holds his breath, pressing against the wall, praying his own elevated emotions don't give him away. The elevator dings. Alex lunges forward, only to freeze as the doors open. Director Chen steps out, impeccably dressed, a cold smile playing on their lips. They lock eyes. A moment stretches into eternity. Chen's smile widens, predatory.
Working late, Alex.
Alex forces a nod, willing his face to remain neutral.
Just finishing up some analytics, Director.
He slips past Chen into the elevator, skin crawling at the proximity. As the doors close, he catches a final glimpse of Chen's knowing smirk. The street teems with people, their movements oddly synchronized. Alex merges with the flow, trying to calm his racing thoughts. A massive EmotiConnect billboard looms overhead. Share your world, feel their joy. For the first time, Alex truly sees the uniformity in the crowd's expressions, the eerie coordination of their movements. His stomach churns. He ducks into an alley, activating his personal holoscreen. The stolen data paints a horrifying picture. Wide-scale emotional tampering, far beyond what he'd imagined. The streetlights flicker, Alex's hollow screen glitches, and for a heartbeat, a hidden message flashes. Not alone. Before he can process this, the ground trembles beneath his feet. The sky darkens unnaturally fast. Alex looks up, jaw dropping as reality seems to ripple. For a split second, the familiar city skyline is replaced by a ghostly grid of glowing lines. Alex's mind reels. The conspiracy runs deeper than emotion manipulation. The very fabric of reality is coming undone. As the world rights itself, leaving him gasping in the alley, one chilling thought crystallizes. Nothing is what it seems, and Alex Crane might be the only one who knows. Go ask Alice. I think she'll know. Alex's legs pump furiously as he sprints through winding back alleys. The buzz of security drones grows louder, closing in. Sweat trickles down his neck, each breath a ragged gasp. He emerges onto a main street. The crowd's synchronized movements part like waves, hundreds of eyes tracking his every move. Alex's skin crawls. Are they all part of it? A dilapidated EmotiConnect kiosk looms ahead. Alex ducks inside, heart hammering against his ribs. His trembling fingers activate the hollow projector. Stolen data fills the air around him, a complex web of emotion manipulation algorithms unfolding in shimmering light. Alex's eyes widen as understanding dawns. EmotiConnect isn't just influencing emotions, it's suppressing individual thought, enforcing collective feelings. A chill runs through him as he realizes even his own emotions feel foreign, manipulated. The kiosk screen flickers to life. Urgent news crawls across it. Citywide manhunt for EmotiConnect saboteur underway. Alex's face plasters across nearby buildings. Drones project his wanted hologram into the sky. A countdown appears. 60 minutes until total neural integration of all users.
No.
Alex whispers, panic rising in his throat.
No, no, no.
He stumbles out of the kiosk, the world shifting around him. Buildings flicker, revealing wireframe structures underneath. Pedestrians freeze mid-step, twitching like malfunctioning robots. Alex's hand passes through a lamppost, leaving a trail of pixelated distortion.
What's happening to me?
He mumbles, squeezing his eyes shut. When he opens them, Maya stands before him. Unlike the glazed stares of the crowd, her eyes are clear, intent. Without a word, she presses something into his palm, a rogue EmotiConnect chip. Alex hesitates, then inserts it. A flood of unfiltered emotions overwhelms his senses. Joy, fear, anger, love, raw and undiluted. He gasps, staggering under the onslaught. When he regains focus, Maya is gone. In her place, an AR message hovers. Find the source. The world continues to glitch around him as Alex races toward EmotiConnect's central hub. Alarms blare the moment he enters. Security bots converge, but Alex weaves through the laser grid with newfound agility, his movements guided by instincts he didn't know he possessed. He reaches the central processor, facing a towering wall of churning data streams. Alex's fingers fly across the interface, initiating a system shutdown. Reality fractures. The crowd outside screams in unison. The sky tears open, revealing lines of code streaming through the gaps. Director Chen materializes, their body glitching, voice distorted.
You've doomed us all.
Chen growls, pixels scattering from their form. Before Alex can respond, the floor beneath him disintegrates. He falls, tumbling through layers of simulation, catching glimpses of alternate realities, worlds where EmotiConnect took different forms, where humanity made different choices. He lands hard in a glitch-ridden version of the city. Buildings phase in and out of existence. The streets flood with people, their faces contorting with uncontrolled emotions. Waves of joy, anger, fear, and despair wash over Alex as he struggles to navigate the chaos. Billboards flicker between EmotiConnect ads and error messages. Alex's own emotions spiral, memories blurring with implanted data. What's real? What's simulation? The boundaries crumble with each passing second. A trail of code fragments hangs in the air like digital breadcrumbs. With no other option, Alex follows, descending into forgotten maintenance tunnels beneath the fractured city. Walls pulse with fiber optic veins. The floor hums with raw data. The tunnel opens into a vast cavern. Rows of stasis pods stretch as far as the eye can see. Alex's breath catches as he recognizes faces. Director Chen, Maya, himself. At the center stands a pillar of light, the true EmotiConnect core. Alex approaches, hand outstretched. Reality bends around him, resisting his every step. The core lashes out with tendrils of pure information. Alex dodges and weaves, his mind and body tested to their limits. The stolen data chip activates, projecting a shield of contradictory emotions. Protected, Alex pushes forward. He reaches the core, fingers dancing across its surface as he initiates the true shutdown sequence. Stasis pods power down. Inhabitants stir for the first time in who knows how long. The simulated world cracks, shards of false reality raining down around him. As the last vestiges of the familiar world crumble, a deeper truth reveals itself. Alex's gaze stretches beyond the cavern, seeing endless rows of similar chambers, billions of pods. Horror dawns as realization hits. Their real world is just another layer of simulation. Alex's mind reels, grasping for solid ground in a reality turned to quicksand. As darkness closes in, one question burns. How deep does the rabbit hole go? Go ask Alice when she's 10 feet tall. Alex's eyes snap open. He gasps, lungs burning as if he'd been holding his breath for an eternity. The stasis pod around him hums with dwindling power. Emergency lights strobe, casting frantic shadows across the vast chamber. His hands claw at the neural interface, ripping free from the artificial reality that had been his entire world. The disconnect sends shockwaves of pain through his skull. Alex grits his teeth, forcing himself to focus through the agony. Around him, other pods begin to open. Confusion and panic fill the air. Primal screams echo off the cavern walls as people awaken to a reality they never knew existed. The EmotiConnect core at the center of the room shatters, raining down shards of crystallized data. Alex stumbles from his pod, legs weak from disuse. Memories flood back, fragmented glimpses of a life before the simulation, the reason for the experiment. Each recollection feels like a dagger in his mind, but he pushes through the pain.
This way!
He shouts, voice hoarse.
Follow me!
He leads a group through crumbling maintenance tunnels. The facility groans around them, systems failing as the simulation collapse ripples outward. They dodge falling debris, leap over widening chasms. Through cracks in the tunnel walls, Alex catches glimpses of other simulations, infinite variations of their world. Some nearly identical, others wildly different. All of them falling apart. They emerge into a vast hangar. Alex's breath catches in his throat. Rows of facilities identical to the one they just escaped stretch to the horizon. Billions of pods. Trillions of lives trapped in simulated worlds.
Oh God,
Someone behind him whispers.
what is this place?
Alex's gaze locks onto an observation deck high above. Figures in white coats scurry about, taking notes, seemingly oblivious to the chaos unfolding below.
It's all an experiment.
Alex murmurs, pieces clicking into place.
Our escape. It's part of their plan.
He spots a terminal near the hangar's edge. With shaking hands, he accesses the system. An option to shut down all simulations glows ominously on the screen. Alex's finger hovers over the command. Hesitation grips him. The consequences of awakening billions are unknown. Memories of his simulated life flicker through his mind. Joys, sorrows, relationships. Were they any less real for being artificial? The question of reality versus happiness weighs heavy on his soul. Reality flickers. For a moment, Alex is back in the EmotiConnect office, then in his pod, then at the terminal. Layers of simulation blur. He sees multiple versions of himself, each facing the same choice across infinite realities. His hand descends. Alex blinks. He stands in a white room, sterile and featureless. A mirror on the far wall reflects his image, but something's off. He wears a lab coat. A clipboard rests in his hand. Confused, he looks down at the paper. A single line of text reads, "Simulation complete. Subject ready for reintegration." Alex's gaze returns to the mirror. He meets his own eyes, a chill running down his spine as a terrifying question forms. Who, or what, is he really? The room seems to pulse, reality bending at the edges of his vision. Alex reaches out, his fingers brushing against the cool surface of the mirror. For a split second, he sees beyond his reflection endless rows of identical white rooms, each with its own Alex, each grappling with the same existential terror. As the boundaries of his consciousness start to fray, one thought crystallizes with terrifying clarity. The experiment is far from over.
Tell him a hookah-smoking caterpillar has given you the cold.
Call Alice when she was just small.
The white room dissolves around Alex, reality shifting like sand beneath his feet. He finds himself standing in a vast, dimly lit hangar, rows of sleek machines humming with barely contained power. Each device cradles a human form, neural interfaces glowing softly. Alex's body moves of its own accord, clipboard in hand, white lab coat swishing as he walks. His mind reels, struggling to reconcile conflicting memories and identities.
Status report, Dr. Crane?
A voice calls out. Director Chen approaches, their features oddly fluid, as if unable to settle on a single form. Alex's mouth opens, words spilling out unbidden.
Subject 34A has completed the multi-layer simulation. Emotional response patterns indicate heightened awareness and resistance to standard manipulations. Recommend advancing to Phase 3.
Horror floods Alex's being. He's not just a subject, he's part of the system, an observer and participant simultaneously. But which is the real him? Alarms blare suddenly, red lights bathe the hangar, Chen's form flickers, concern etching across their features.
We're losing containment.
They hiss.
The emotional bleed is spreading between simulations.
Screens around the hangar flare to life. Alex watches as countless versions of himself awaken across different realities, each experiencing their own moment of terrible realization. Emotions surge through the neural network, fear, anger, confusion, hope, amplifying and feeding back on themselves. The machines housing the sleepers begin to spark and smoke. Cracks appear in the very air, reality fracturing under the strain of billions of minds rejecting their programmed emotions.
Shut it down!
Chen roars, their form glitching violently.
Purge the system.
Alex's body moves towards a central console, but his mind rebels. In that moment of internal conflict, he feels a presence, countless presences, reaching out across the neural web. Not alone, with a Herculean effort, Alex reasserts control. His hand, shaking violently, reaches for the console. But instead of initiating a purge, he slams down on the emergency release. Pods hiss open throughout the hangar. Bodies stir, minds awakening to a reality they were never meant to see. The emotional storm intensifies, raw and unfiltered feelings cascading through the network. Chen lunges for Alex, but their form is coming apart, unable to maintain coherence as the system collapses.
You fool!
They cry, voice distorting.
You've destroyed everything!
No,
Alex says, his voice steady for the first time.
I've set us free.
The hangar dissolves around them. Alex finds himself floating in a sea of pure data and emotion. Countless minds brush against his consciousness, human and something other. The boundaries between self and other blur. In that moment of connection, understanding floods through him. The emotions merchants weren't just controlling feelings, they were harvesting them, feeding on the emotional energy of billions of trapped minds. As the system collapses, Alex feels himself fragmenting, his consciousness spreading across multiple realities. In one, he's still a data analyst, staring at a glitching EmotiConnect terminal. In another, he's awakening in a stasis pod. In a third, he's a scientist, watching his life's work crumble. All of these are him. None of them are him. He is both the observer and the observed, the programmer and the program. The world reshapes itself around him, reality reforming from the ashes of the collapsed simulation. But this time, it's built on the raw, unfiltered emotions of billions of freed minds, chaotic, terrifying, beautiful in its complexity. Alex opens his eyes, in a dozen realities simultaneously. A smile tugs at his lips, lips that exist across multiple planes of existence. The air hums with possibility, with the potential of truly free will. The emotions merchants are gone. What comes next is gloriously, terrifyingly unknown. In a white room that both exists and doesn't, Alex Crane looks into a mirror that reflects infinite realities. Time to feel, he whispers to his countless reflections. Time to live. The mirror shatters. The story ends. The story begins.
Remember what the dormouse said. Feed your head, feed your head.
Thank you for joining us at the Shadowverse Chronicles for our original presentation of The Emotion Merchants. If you like this, please like and subscribe.